Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer, and this is the Road to the Record, where I work to achieve mastery of 10 games in a hunt for the best score of the Decathlon. If you like what you see, remember to hit that like button. If you want to see more, hit subscribe. Let the games begin. This is Pro Cycling Manager 2018, and I'm into week 35 of the Gaming Decathlon competition. This week I will be finishing up season number 2 in my Pro Cyclist career. And we might just see the beginning of Season 3. We'll see how things pan out. In some lists, I was not seen inside the top 10, and in that final list, they show me just 10th on the favorites list for this time trial. This is stage 2 of the Tour of Colorado. Team objective is to squeeze inside that top 10. Tom Dumoulin is here, amongst others. And I finished 16th on stage 1, but I believe it has me in 18th place overall after a couple time bonuses picked up by some of those who were in the breakaway that managed to stay with the top group. This one starts off flat the first third of the way. Time check is 2/3 of the way, and then it does climb a little bit steeper towards the end. This is a short time trial. You can see it's taking just under half an hour. There's already pretty big gaps at the front on this one. It's a little while until I go, so let's skip forward just a little bit. All right, we are underway. I'm starting off trying to conserve a bit of energy, but not too much. Race day condition is 0, but my climbing is a -1, so that'll bring me down just a little bit. Alright, start to ramp up the speed a little. Right now Hamilton is on top, Lawson Craddock is 2nd, Barta is 3rd, and Eisenhart is 4th. Dombrowski down in 9th. Though he's not known as a time trialist, and we are starting the climb in earnest, though it is just 3% gradient at this point. I'm already starting to gain time on Reichenbach ahead of me. And it's starting to pick up the pace, coming up 1K shy of the sprint point here, the checkpoint coming up. And I have lots of pace for that final climb available, plenty of energy to really push the tempo. Despite taking it easy early on, I am still 3rd overall already at the time check. Just 14 seconds off the pace. Schachmann is on top at the moment there, so I'm ahead of Craddock's time. And even at 80, I'm going too fast there. Slow it down some. Make sure I can still get to the end. But I had to have gained a lot of time there. Sadly, I was going too strong though, so it's not preserving much towards the end here. 2K to go. I'm in the space of Reichenbach now, so it's pushing me out wide, which is bad. That's actually making me take the long way around, really. Okay, 1K banner. I'm also gaining on Kolar there. Alright, going 99. I am out of energy here, so I'm not going to really gain much time on these guys here at the end. Alright, there's 24 seconds to the good so far. So I am in the lead at the moment. With about 17 riders left to go. Arthur Vichot is way behind me, so still hasn't crossed. So I'm ahead of Schachmann, ahead of Craddock. Biggest name still to go. Esteban Chavez is there in 6th. Jarlinson Pantano. So Vichot's a minute and a half behind. Kama, not sure who that is, but he's a minute behind. Rojas is well behind. Speed it up a little. Two riders just came across. Two riders just came across again. We're up through top 10 now. Youngles goes second. Slow back down some. We're down to the top 5 riders left out on the course, and I am still in first place. Tom Dumoulin, of course, goes top. And Milano's last one left, and he's well off the pace. So Tom Dumoulin, no surprise there. Arguably best time trialist in the world. Takes the win, and I appear to have second place. In terms of time gaps, does that put me to second overall? So great time trial there for me. That was fantastic to beat everyone on course minus Dumoulin. And yes, overall individual time, I am second overall here for the tour, which is awesome. And with no serious climbs, I could very well take second in this race. Picked up some mountain points there. Third overall points, 6th overall. Best young rider, I'm on top ahead of Sam Oomen. So I've got a white jersey. If I can hang on to that, that might unlock the next category of races for me. Team not so good overall. We are 8th. There it is, confirmation, second on the stage. 10K to go. I'm still in second place, no change. They say that this is a hill stage, but clearly it is a sprint stage. My race day condition stinks, -3, -6 on stamina, but I am in decent enough shape that I'll have no problem here.
The pack is back on level terms with the breakaway group.
A couple guys trying to sprint off the front.
5 kilometers to the finish
5K
line.
left. It's my energy gel. Sunweb chasing him down. Youngles now trying to attack. 3K to go. Sam Oomen, that's the one I got to worry about. He's in 3rd place.
Oh my, the guys up front aren't going to be making too
I'm
much
off the
today.
front now in a group of 3.
There goes the sprint. The strong men are giving their all.
Okay, on the attack.
In the end, he found the resources to get this win.
Chavez hung on. It's a little sprint stage. I don't see how anyone managed to get off the front. Craddock 4th. Oomen is 6th. Dumoulin right behind him. Jack Haig. I should be in 10th. Yes, 10th place. So top 10 on the stage. We'll see if they give any different times amongst the front group. That should have been for the sprinters, but it was team leaders going for it because they classified it as a hilly stage and there was no sprint trains, there were no sprinters. That was a peculiar finish. I managed to grab 10th out of that on poor race day condition. Hopefully that does not drop me to 3rd. Hopefully that does not drop me to 2nd in the young rider standings, as Sam Oomen was in both of those positions just behind me. He finished 6th, I finished 10th. There shouldn't be any bonus seconds for him, but if there are splits, that will hurt.
And just in case you missed them, here are the race highlights.
Straight to the results. There were splits, but only a single one. Milano 21 seconds ahead, everybody else on the same time. So Jungels actually ends up moving ahead of Uman by finishing third on the stage, picking up a couple seconds. 7th in the sprint category, 5th in the mountain climbers, and 1st in the young rider. Team 7th. Here we go. Finished top 10, 2nd overall, exceptional. 5th in the mountain climbers, very good. 1st in the youth, exceptional. So that's worth 55 points of progression, and manager satisfaction nearly maxed out. And yes, that does. That unlocks category 3 for getting a distinctive jersey in that classification for the first time. And this unlocks World Tour races. So as I move to a World Tour team, I will now be able to compete in lower level World Tour races. Good timing as we head into next season. Now, before I move too far forward here, I want to stop and do a couple things. One, I want to adjust training schedule. I can't adjust it for next week. It's too late. But we are going to go to the training page. And this is that tiredness, which is way too high. I need a break. There we go. That'll be a break heading into the Tour of Britain. We'll take another break after it. And then that should keep our tiredness below 50. As you can see from here, it's projected to be quite high at this point in the season. Okay, next thing to look at here is we're going to go into the results and get an update, a couple updates. First off, team index. It's not guaranteed, season's not done, it's still just August. But Quickstep now looks as the strongest team on the grid, the only 5-star team. My team for next year, EF Education First. Trapac Cannondale is looking to stay strong in the World Tour. Wanty Group Gobert right now looking to get a World Tour spot. My soon-to-be old team is hanging on to Continental Pro status. And the team on the way out of the World Tour and apparently out of existence is Dimension Data. They took a big funding cut last season, stayed alive, but it looks like this year they might be going out. 0 stars means they are probably going to fold. Okay, current standings, Chris Froome is well on top. Dumoulin is now 2nd. Sagan there in 4th. Continental standings, I just jumped with that 2nd place up to 4th place in the Continental standings. So Jesus Herrada, of all people, is on top of those standings. Maxime Bouet and Brian Cockard are the top. Super Prestige, if you're tracking the gaming decathlon, Super Prestige is the one that matters. As I try to master this game, I'm looking for 1,000 points, and it is based off of the Super Prestige score. Score divided by 5, meaning you would need 5,000 points. We're late August, Chris Froome's highest with 3,000. And for me, I'm up there a ways. I'm in 70th. I have 536 points now. That is actually quite the jump. I just scored 137 points more. I was sitting on 399 after the Tour of Utah. So getting that 2nd place in the Tour of Colorado, big jump, moved me up 52 places. inside the top 100 with 536 now. So that does put me above 100 points in the gaming decathlon, plus another 7. So 107 points scored. This is now my new personal record on this game. And now that I'll be moving up to the World Tour level in that next episode, I should start to see that score go up quite a bit more. But I'm still a few years off before I'm actually going to be competing with these guys at the highest. But can I get up above 1,000 next year? That's my target. I'd like to see if I can get 1,000 points next season. But we'll see. Part of that depends on my standing in the team. The big points the last couple of races are helping get me towards that level 15. And let's go ahead and take one quick look at the schedule on what's coming up. So I have the Tour of Britain coming up. It has one hill climb stage, and there's not much to that except for the hill finish. So we might get a brief look at the hill finish, and then we'll get a brief look at the 8 kilometer, it's more of a prologue than a time trial, at the end of that one. Otherwise, it's all sprint stages. The Worlds are going to be coming up somewhere in September. I don't know if I'm going to have participation in that or not. And then we'll catch the end of this race. We'll catch this race and the Japan Cup Cycle road race. So the Japan Cup. Those will be it. And none of those are significant mountain stages or anything. So outside of if I end up at the Worlds, whether that's time trial or stage race or both, is yet to be seen. I've got to get my fatigue down a bit as it's still higher than it needs to be, but you just saw the training update. So I'll see you at the Tour of Britain here in just a couple seconds. All right, here we are, and I have a puncture fairly late in the stage. I gave orders to Brown and Alzati to stop, and it didn't happen. So I'm having to burn energy here to get back on to the back of the peloton. Luckily this time, though, peloton spread out and going slow enough that I'm catching on quite quickly. But this is still going to cost me some energy. I am back into the group now. So this is the Tour of Britain. It's stage 3. If you look at the stage profile and the map here at the bottom, this is seen as a hill climber stage. But you look at that final climb, and it's a little bit long, and it is fairly steep. So as much as they say this is a race for the hill climbers, and I'm not seen anywhere near the top 10, I like my chances a bit, especially looking at who is at this race. Team Sky is the only World Tour team here, and Castro Viejo is the only top rider. Kirienka, yeah, but Castro Viejo, the only top rider that they brought, and he's not even their number 1. So looking around at all the number 1s, I like my chances of at least a decent finish. Added to that, my race day condition is a 0. I did burn that energy, but I am recovering fairly nicely here. There's only a single rider in the break. We've almost caught him a couple times and then let him get back out in front of us. And there he is now, Gibson. So we're down to 30k to go, and I think I'm recovered enough here that we can push on to the base of the climb. The steepness of the climb, I think, will favor me if I can pull away from the group. I think I could, in the long term, ride away from them and not have it come down to a punchy sprint at the end. Alright, we are getting close to it now. 8 kilometers. Breakaway has already been caught. 7 kilometers. Looks like it's going to be about a 6-kilometer climb. And I don't have control over any of the riders in my group. Base of the climb now, 5K to go.
Riders are entering the last 5 kilometers of the stage.
And I'm going to push off the front. And there we go. I'm going to set my own pace. 87.
Let's go.
I am off the front, but I'm not keeping the gap. They are gaining on me here. Nine seconds. Yeah, I've been caught here, but I'm still off the front. Nope. Looks like the punchy guys are going to be able to get it. Can I recover it all? I'm in a breakaway group of 5. Yeah, there goes my energy. But I'm staying with them. Can I attack at a 99? I mean, there's nobody of consequence here left. 1.5K, 25 give and chase, about 30 seconds back. I am pushing my way towards the front here, despite not having anything left. I am in the lead at the moment. 600 meters, 500 meters, 400 meters. They're on the sprint. They're not catching me at the moment. 300 meters, 200 meters. For the win. For the win. There it is. 3rd win of the year.
He didn't disappoint his teammates.
And in a breakaway.
Well done.
Now, the rest of this tour, it's a fairly long tour. There's Vetkov leading the rest. He is my co-leader in this. Actually, he just led a 2-man group, so he's going to pick up some time too. So both of us are going to be doing real well in this one. Team Sky had no one. Castro Viejo in 9th. So I've got to be the favorite to win this thing because it's stage 3 right now. The rest is nothing but sprint stages until the final stage, just a little 8-kilometer, more of a prologue than time trial. So I will see you on that stage unless there is something drastic that I need to cut in for. But there we go. 3rd stage win of the year, and I'm in great shape to potentially win the overall. And we'll see about that last stage. It's only 8K.
Moments of the day.
Achievement unlocked, puncher. Nice. Quick look at the podium. There we are, on top. Alright, see you back on the final stage. So it's the very next stage, stage 4, and I'm actually concerned about a couple things here. Primarily this finish. Let's pause and take a look for a second. There is a pretty punchy climb just about 3Ks from the finish line. It's only about a K long, but it will split the field some. Now, here's the thing. The favorite to win the stage is the guy who is in 2nd overall. Christian Odd. Hiking. There we go. So he's a strong hill climber at 76 and a decent sprinter. So he is favored to be able to get away at that 3K mark and then be able to outsprint anyone else with his strong hill climbing ability. And at just 4 seconds back, even if I'm in the group and don't lose any time, if he wins, the 10-second time bonus would put him ahead, at least for the time being. So my hope was the breakaway group could hang on. It was 5 riders. They've been chased down. So there's enough teams that felt confident. I pulled my riders back. I pulled my riders out, and there was nothing I could do. So I have just over 12K to go, 13K to go. And what I am planning to do now is run it kind of like a sprint train, I guess. My race day condition is low. I'm a -2 today. My stamina is a -4 today. I'm already a little bit low. So I'm a little nervous that I could lose some time on this stage. So now, under 10K, I'm going to see if we can't set up. Brown's my best. Can I? Yes, I can set up a follow. Brown and actually, no. Vetkov. I'm going to follow Vetkov. Vetkov's going to follow Brown. Brown's going to follow... I can't control putt, can I? No. So follow Acevedo. And Acevedo... Is there any point following Norris? I guess Norris can get us started. Okay, you're going to follow Norris. And Norris, you're going to start moving towards the front. So I'm going to set it up like a sprint train, and I'm going to try to essentially attack the climb using my team up. Now, I still don't see everyone in position. Acevedo is still hanging back. Brown is still behind him. There's Vetkov. Alright, never mind Norris.
Only 5 kilometers left.
Let's go. Come on. Get up to the front.
This climb features some dreadful percentages.
I need to use my gel. Okay, he is off the front. And it's time to attack with Brown. Vetkov's right on his tail. Please tell me I'm right behind him. Yes, I am. And we are safe and secure.
Too high for many riders.
Okay, sprint. 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 Just anyone that I can sprint. Okay, we're close to the finish.
And there goes the mad burst for the final sprint.
Can Brown hang on? Can I squeeze through another Vetkov?
He really had to fight for that one.
I got third. Vetkov second. I got third, so I'm actually going to pick up 4 seconds. Iking down in 7th. So there you go. Christopher Lawless, who did win 1 or 2 of the earliest stages as the strongest sprinter, and Sky's top rider that is here, lost time on that last stage. So I think we're okay with his 10-second bonus. I'm going to add 4 more seconds. And with that 3rd place finish, that'll pick up a few more super prestige points as well. Vetkov, also, who was in 6th, is going to pick up 6 more seconds. So there could be time gaps with this punchy finish here. Time gaps after 23rd. So what kind of split does that do? So I pick up 4 seconds. I'm 8 seconds ahead of Iking. Vetkov is in 5th now. Brown is in 6th. Acevedo is in 9th, so my team is all over it. We've got 3 riders in the top 6. Castroviejo is 7th. And Lawless had lost a bunch of times, so he's not anywhere near. There he is, 19th, 212 down. So sprint, I'm actually 3rd right now. 5th in the mountain climbers, obviously 1st in the under 25s, but Eiking is the nearest challenger, just 8 seconds down. And that did put the team on top of the team standings. Picking up lots of points again for another fantastic finish. Manager satisfaction is right there at the top. Progression now over halfway to level 15. Doing this despite 48% tiredness. We'll glance at the profiles here and see if there's any other surprises out there before that final stage. Another little punchy climb here at the end on this stage. I don't think it's going to split the field up much, especially with that downhill after. But it could. It did in stage 4. Stage 6 isn't going anywhere. That's going to be a sprint finish. Stage 7, 2 little punchy climbs just before the end will split the field up a bit. And stage 8, very much a prologue, very flat. Alright, moving forward. Here we are again, stage 5, similar thing, bit of a punchy climb, and this time I've got the whole team at my disposal besides Putt, and everybody's pretty fresh. So, Norris is going to take over here, and you can go back to your own thing. Alright, so Norris on the attack now. Acevedo, get you ready, and you're going to attack. Alright, 3K to go. I need to use my energy gel, and we're going to put you on full-on sprint now.
And the final sprint is off. Who's going to be the first to the line today?
Brown, full-on sprint. Vetkov, full-on sprint. Myself, full sprint. No time gaps today.
Well, nobody can dispute that win.
And no time lost. Tanner Putt actually manages to get 3rd. Good for him. I'm outside of the top 20, 25th. But no worries there, as I'm still 1st. Final stage. Rain is starting to fall. This might slow down times. Vasil Kiryenka has the best time so far, just inside 10 minutes. I'm nearly up. 1st place. Final stage. 8 kilometers. And we want to attack, but I don't know how hard to attack as it's only 8K. Race day condition is -1. Time trial 77. Prologue is a 70. I'm just barely in the favorites. I'm picked as a top 10 finisher right alongside Eiking, and he's the one who's just 8 seconds down. Okay, a little too strong there. Rain is stopping now. I guess that favors me a little bit. Sprint point coming up. I'm just a little bit strong, but I think I'm making up that ground. 10th, 16 seconds off. Eiking is 4 seconds ahead at the checkpoint. 1K to go. So I'm going to run out just before the finish line, and we're going to attack with everything we got. 99. Can't really pick up the speed. That's going to slow me down. 13th, 37 seconds off. Iking 16 seconds ahead, so I will not be the winner here. Looks like I'm going to have second place overall. Yep, second place overall. Castro Viejo moved up to third. Vetkov kept his fifth place, just a second off of fourth and a second ahead of former podium holder. And Nathan Brown moved up to seventh. So team as a whole did really good, though sadly I lost by just 8 seconds overall. This is still going to be really good points. I got fifth in the mountain climbers. Burton was pretty much in every breakaway, as was Gibson and Treba. Kerfoot was in a few. I got fifth in points. Surprised that Christopher Lawless actually lost that one. Adam Blythe was always second in most of the sprints. And Iking ends up getting Best Young Rider as well. Sad for me to finish second overall and still not win the Best Young Rider jersey. My condition was definitely low. Oh, Aqua Blue. The Irish team ends up winning the overall team. We were second by just 9 seconds. Very surprising there, as I figured Team Sky was the only real competitor on that one. I stand corrected. So 13th on the stage is poor enough to drop me out of the win, as Iking took 5th on the stage and took the overall win. Still worth 74 points of progression. I did manage to get top 15 in the stage, which is what they were hoping for. And all of these other classifications are all quite excellent. So manager satisfaction is maxed out. Progression is not too far away from level 15 now. So even though I couldn't grab my 10th victory of the year, I think the points gain is going to be pretty significant. Let's take a quick look at that. We are a couple weeks away from the World Championships. Whew, with that, I am up to second in the Continental standings. And 44th in Super Prestige with 735 points. That is awesome. That is approaching 150 in the gamer points, which is still not that great, but it is up here where I'll really start racking up the points when you get to that top 4 or 5 overall. And the fact that I could be 44th without ever even being involved in a single World Tour race is pretty phenomenal. Second in the Continental standings, and that's really just happened over these last few races that have picked up significant points. Here I am at the individual time trial World Championships, and in an incredible surprise, they want me to finish in the top 10. Are you kidding me? Right, I want to save some energy early, as we've got some serious climbing to do at the end. I don't want to save too much energy, but I've definitely got to bank some. Race day condition, +1 for the first time in ages, as I've taken a break after my second place at the Tour of Britain. And we'll speed things along a little bit, as it's a long, slow way to the finish, and I think I might be a little too slow here. Yeah, Shockman just flew by me. I think I've banked about as much as I need to. 17th, 2 minutes 50 seconds down at the first checkpoint, with plenty of energy stored up for the finish. I'm now keeping pace with Shockman, and we're starting to climb a little bit, and I'm already starting to gain back on him. Of course, I not only need to catch him, I'm going to need to pass him by a significant amount. So I'm picking up the pace now. We'll see how much time that I'm able to gain here on the second. 17th now, 10 places gained. I still lost a little bit of time to whoever's on top. Alright, here's the real climbing. Steepest section. And I'm going to go strong through here. So I'm back ahead of Shockman. I'm leaving him well behind. Not only have I left him behind, but I've very, very quickly caught up to that guy, whoever that was. Next up is Verts, gaining on him as well. Steepest part of the climb is now behind me. I still have some energy left for a strong finish here. I think I'm going to move well up the standings. 1.4K to go. $1K to go. Still gaining, still gaining. And there goes my pace. Ran out just before the end. But still a strong finish. First overall at the moment. So ahead of Kruijswijk. Verts is third. That's the guy who I almost caught on the line. That's how much time I gained on him. I finished apparently 15 seconds behind him, as he was 2 minutes ahead. Luis Leon Sanchez is currently fourth. Wellens is fifth. It is still early though. Roskopf, Lawson Craddock, and TJ Van Garderen are the other Americans here. There's Shockman. He finished well behind, but still good enough for 7th time being. Gorka Izagara goes top. Richie Port also goes ahead, so third now. Will not be the time trial champion here. Not that I expected that at age 20. Time trial a 78, mountain climbing a 78 on the day, but stamina just 65 does have an impact. So Richie Port on top at the moment. Plenty of riders still on track. Maybe half, but I am in place for a good finish. Krolik goes fourth ahead of Kruijswijk. Nushtin, whoever that is, Roman Nushtin. Russian rider goes second. Brathen goes fourth. So I dropped to fifth at this point. Craddock comes in 7th. The real competitors are coming up though, so there's a good chance I'm going to slip outside of the top 10 here. Miguel Angel Lopez, 7 seconds off Richie Port's time, which is 1 hour and 2 minutes. I'm down to 7th now. Down to 8th. Ilnar Zakarin slots in at 3rd. TJ Van Garderen comes in 15th, so I end up taking the lead, at least for the Americans. Slip down to 10th place now. Rowan Dennis goes on top by 1:24. Fantastic time for him. Chris Froome comes in 4th, and Rowan Dennis, really surprising. Rowan Dennis is a good time trialist, no doubt. But the fact that he won it, and won it by so much. Apparently no Tom Dumoulin here. So Rowan Dennis takes the win. And I think I was just outside of the top 10 in the end. Somewhere around 12th or 13th. The team might have said that I should finish 10th, but I would never think that I would be amongst the top 10 at this point. Oh, just missed the top 10. 11th place. So close. So, Rowan Dennis, Richie Porte, Miguel Angel Lopez, Chris Froome, and Ilnar Zakarin top 5, and I come in 11th. Let's see, how is that poor? Finish in the top 10. I get 11th. That's... I think they really need to work on the evaluation. Was that great? No. Was that good? Maybe not. You wanted me in the top 10. I didn't get a top 10. Okay. But does that automatically drop me to poor? One place below where you wanted me to be? And it's the World Championships. I'm 20 years old. 11th is fantastic. And at least should have gotten okay. Or, yeah, good job, Slugger. Pat on the back, you know? Something. Here I am in the penultimate race of the year, and it's a single stage time trial. I am amongst the favorites, but without any time checks, it's really hard to tell where we are in relation to everyone else. I am turning a high rate of speed above 50 kilometers per hour, despite a slight incline. Good indication for me is that Vetkov is currently in 8th. Sam Uman is in 5th. Arthur Visho is 4th. Michael Storer is on top at the moment. I've got 19 kilometers to go. In terms of the length, this is absolutely a time trial. So that is the main reason why I am amongst the favorites. I think at about a 77 or a 78, I'm holding pace just fine. I'm leaving that little bit in the tank to push on that final sprint. Speed things back up a little bit here. Vetkov hanging on to a top 10. The time right now is just over an hour, at an hour and 3 minutes. And without any sort of time check myself, I couldn't tell you where I am in relation to that. I can tell you that I am gaining on Hepburn, and Hepburn just managed to get 10th on the time trial at the Tour de France there on stage 20. So if I'm catching and about to pass him, that's a fantastic sign. Bruno Armorale has gone top. Maxime Bouet is now 3rd. There's no climbing left to do. This tiny little uphill is all there is. Looks like I'm running out of juice right here at the end. 1K to go. Pushing to the end, not much left to sprint. My pace did come down a bit, but there we go. A minute on top. A minute to the good. Oh, second. Matthias Brandl behind me goes 15 seconds to the top. He was the last rider to go. I was the next to last, and he and I set the top 2 times. So I managed to get second place behind Matthias Brandl. As a team, we were able to pull off fourth, which is awesome, considering we were surrounded by World Tour teams. Not necessarily their top riders. There you go, second place. And by more than a minute. Not far away from the win. Randall, strong time trialist, also with the 77 like myself. Better stamina though. Okay, so we managed second. Evaluation is good. We pick up 15 points, which is just enough to crack level 15. Level 15 now with 1 race to go on the year. As I head up to the World Tour, I'm going to head up with a whole new rating. Still working on stage races. And with that, we now hit mountain climbing of 80. It's a phenomenal mark. Hills a 73, time trial a 78, prologue a 72. Even cobbles went up, sprint went up, downhill went up 1. And this is what I really need. Stamina is up 2, resistance is up 2, and recovery up 2. Here we are on the final race of the season. It's the Japan Cup. It also resembles the National Championship in North Carolina, Greensboro, yeah, for the U.S. Championships. We've got 3 times up and over the climb left to go, and then a 4th time up to the finish line, and I was set to work today. I've put in 39K over 30, meaning I will have exceptional status on that. And now, can do whatever I want to the end with my team job done. I'll see what I can do for the finish. There are 4 riders left off the front. They have just a 2-minute gap, and the field has split a couple of times. We are now with 55 riders left at the front. And here we go into the climb. 3 remain after this time.
The pack is slowly whittling away the lead. The pack is increasing its work rate. Some teams can't be happy with the breakaway.
Race day condition is a +1. It's so nice to have that fatigue, that tiredness gone and no longer an issue.
There's an attack in the leading group. Some riders were not giving it their all and sharing the pace.
A couple guys are really upping the pace here.
Those guys up front aren't going to be making too many friends today.
That should get us around this time. There we go. Breakaway group is all split up, and we are closing in on the back markers. Two times left to go up and over the climb. Just 1 rider left off the front now as we catch the other back markers, and we are about to catch
We've got 15 kilometers to the finish line.
the leader, just 25 seconds ahead. And I'm in a pretty good position right now, except for I just got held up by the catch of the breakaway rider. I'm in a group of 28, now 23 riders. Here as we go over the finish line left in the peloton. Vetkov is now the only one left as it's down to 22 riders. But I do not have control over Vetkov as I'm not a team leader. Otherwise, I would definitely get him on the front. Brown has reattached himself. Alright, let's get towards the base of the climb here quickly. Almost there. Almost there. 5k to go. Use my energy gel.
The finish line is getting close. The riders just passed the 5 kilometers road sign.
There's multiple parts to this climb, and I don't know if anyone's going to attack. I'd like to get up on Gegenhardt. Alright, not attacking yet, just trying to get myself to the front. Now I'm to the front. And 2k to go. 1.8k to go. Still pushing. Okay, just over 1k to go. And no attack, sprint now. I'm in it to the end, maybe a top 10. Here come the sprinters flying past me though, especially when I have nothing left. Jay McCarthy gets the win. Jesus Herrera in 5th. There's Eiking from a few races back. I just missed the top 10 in 11th place. Just ahead of my teammate Vetkov. I'm far more consistently finishing in higher places now than I was before. So that's going to start to wrap up the season. In closing, this was a highly successful second season, despite only grabbing 3 wins on the year. Lots and lots of top 10 performances. Overcame some heavy fatigue in the middle late part of the season for a number of reputable finishes in tougher races that really helped me gather some high super prestige points on the year. Exceptional work plus 10 points. Finished with 100% manager satisfaction, as that's the last race of the year on the calendar, as well as for myself. Some closing the transfer market announcements, the big moves. Peter Sagan left Bora Hansgrohe for Quick Step. Man, that is going to make them tough. Dan Martin is heading to Lotto Soudal. Simon Yates going to Movistar. Really? A Yates brother? One of them going to Movistar is surprising. I wouldn't think they would go to a Spanish team in real life. Especially Movistar. I mean, leaving, and he was at Sunweb. So he had already left. Wow. Okay. Stybar is going to Groupama FDJ. Viviani to Bahrain Merida. Mikel Landa is leaving Movistar for a Continental Pro team. Menkes to Mitchelton Scott. I think Dimension Data might be folding, but we'll see about that here in a moment. Marcel Kittel also going to Quick Step, another sprinter. Sepp Van Mark to Bora Hansgrohe, and Jakob Fuglsang to Mitchelton Scott. Moving forward one day, and then we'll take a look at the standings. In the past, it wouldn't add the standings. I've never checked this year to confirm whether that's still the same or whether it adds them right away after your race. But it always took the next day in the past. Alright, so in those predictions, looks like Dimension Data is going to survive, apparently. as they will just keep their World Tour status. So no changes there. Chris Froome is the World Tour champion on the year. And I was second in Continental. I passed Jesus Herrada, but sprinter Brian Cockard actually ended up being the overall Continental winner. So my 1 year in Continental Pro was good enough for second. And if I had a first half of the year resembling the second half of the year, I definitely could have won the title this year. And if I were still in Continental Pro next year, I think I would crush it. Here's the one that counts, Super Prestige. I stayed in the top 50, so 45th. Much higher than my 2017 edition at the end of Season 2. My final total is 878 points. That is a significant amount, and that's going to be a nice score for the Gaming Decathlon as I go into next season. And just the fact that I was able to finish in the top 50 is huge. This year's winner is Chris Froome, Tom Dumoulin second, Vincenzo Nibali third, and Sam Oomen up in fourth. Peter Sagan down in seventh. Alaphilippe, who just won the Mountain Climbers jersey in the Tour de France in real life, took 13th. Nairo Quintana, who struggled in the Tour this year, is 11th in the final standings. Okay, quick look at the team standings. Team Sky, no surprise there on top. Almost a little surprising, though, that Quick-Step was only 4th. My team this year, United Healthcare, finished 5th in the Continental standings. And in the Super Prestige, my future team managed 4th place. Sunweb was on top overall. And UHC in 22nd. So pretty good, just missing out on those top 18 spots. All 18 World Tour teams finished on top of those standings, with Cofidis Wanty Group Gobert and Mercatone Du, an Italian team. Not sure who that is, but good job by them in 21st. I don't know if I raced them at any point this year. Total victories, Sunweb led the way with Team Sky and Education First. And in the world rankings, at the World Tour level, the Dutch were on top, ahead of France and the UK. At the continental level, it was France, Belgium, and Italy. My impact brought the United States as high as 8th, at least contributed to. And the Super Prestige, it was 15th for the US, with the Netherlands, Colombia, France, and the UK on top. Alright, well, that's going to do it for this season and this episode. I'm Decathlon Gamer, and remember, I'm aiming for the best of the best. So if you're ready to join me on my journey, hit subscribe, and tune in next time on my road to the record. Bye for now.